Welcome, boxing fans, to Unbiased Boxing Talk, where we cover all the latest news in the fight game. So, recently in boxing, it's been going on for a while now, since earlier this year. We see that Canelo Alvarez and Golden Boy Promotions aren't really on the same terms, on good terms right now. We see there's been a little public feud with them. They haven't been getting along recently, and there's been a lot of speculation that Canelo Alvarez might leave Golden Boy Promotions. There's an article I read recently by Business Insider. It shows that it says Canelo Alvarez could become the greatest free agent since Floyd Mayweather. We see recently De La Hoya hasn't really been promoting Canelo's fights greatly in the rematch with Golovkin building up. We see Canelo was frustrated that De La Hoya was talking about running for president instead of promoting his fight when he belittled his trainer Eddie Reynoso on social media and then deleted the post. And when he made Canelo vacate the title without really consulting him, we saw that was a big hit for Oscar right there. We see Canelo was really unhappy that he vacated his belt for him instead of consulting him. And Canelo says that he really didn't have any say in the matter of that fight with Sergey Derevyanchenko. We also see that Canelo banned Oscar from entering his gym earlier this year, or in September. We also see that Ryan Garcia hasn't really been getting along with De La Hoya either, and we see that they really didn't speak at the Kovalev-Canelo press conference. They didn't even shake hands. They didn't really acknowledge each other. And we see Canelo telling Mike Coppinger that De La Hoya is not loyal, and that he changed trainers a lot during his career, that he changed managers during his career, and there's no loyalty in him, and that's the way he is, and we see it now. We see Canelo Alvarez is really loyal to his team, especially his trainer. After the Floyd Mayweather fight, when he lost, a lot of people were saying that Canelo needs to leave Eddie Reynoso and find a better trainer. But we see Canelo Alvarez did not leave Eddie Reynoso. He stayed with him, and he improved with him. And now he is the face of boxing. He's the number one pound-for-pound fighter in the world. We see Canelo believes in his people. We see Canelo is probably the most loyal fighter in boxing. We see that he's all about family, and we see he's all about respect. And obviously, Oscar De La Hoya is not really all that. It would make sense if Canelo did leave Golden Boy Promotions. He could become a free agent, and he could work with Eddie Hearn as his promoter. Eddie Hearn could promote his fights. We see Eddie Hearn's a great promoter. He works well with Joshua. He sells out arenas, soccer arenas, makes fights all around the world. We see that Eddie Hearn's probably one of the best promoters in boxing right now. He makes all the big fights, and I think that he would do great work with Canelo, especially since they're both with DAZN. Canelo's with DAZN. It would be an easy switch to just work with him if he were to ever leave Golden Boy. We also see that Eddie Hearn was asked about if he would work with Canelo, and I quote Eddie Hearn saying, "I would never have a conversation with a fighter who was under contract, but if he was to become available, would we want to work with Canelo? Fucking hell, in an absolute heartbeat." We see that Eddie Hearn would want to work with Canelo Alvarez. We see that Eddie Hearn already has Anthony Joshua, and he promotes him well. And we see Eddie Hearn puts on big events all the time, so it would make sense for him to work with Canelo. And honestly, together, I think they would make the biggest fights. I think that they would get fights all around the world, like in Saudi Arabia, the UK versus Smith or Saunders, and even in Las Vegas, they could put on huge mega events, fight after fight, just like he does with Anthony Joshua. But personally, I don't think Canelo's probably going to leave Golden Boy. I think that Canelo's just too loyal. I think they're just going to stick it out and just have a strictly business relationship. But I wouldn't be surprised if he did leave him. We even see Bernard Hopkins said if he felt the way that Canelo does about Golden Boy, that he'd be gone in a heartbeat. So I do think Canelo should leave Golden Boy. I think he should become a free agent and work with Eddie Hearn. I think he would have bigger fights than he does now. We see Oscar is not really promoting his fights well. And I think if he worked with Eddie Hearn and they had fights in places, exotic places around the world, I think he could just make a lot more money, and it would promote the sport of boxing better, get more fans to watch. And I think it would just be better for boxing if he worked with Eddie Hearn. But I still don't think that he'll leave him because I think Canelo Alvarez is just too loyal of a guy. Thank you for tuning in to Unbiased Boxing Talk. Please like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next episode.